get up? Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out. I have figured out that I need to stand in this ring and just plain old do something that I should have done a long time ago. Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out. I have figured out that I need to stand in this ring and just plain old do something that I should have done a long time ago.
What is up, yo? Wow. I mean, like, wow. It's kind of crazy, man. You know, everything that's going on with this diddy show. That's with you, man. I am really, really I mean, I am very disgusted with this. The reason being is, man, that like, what's it going to say about other people that's going through this? I mean, just sit there and look at it. RICO charges, okay, sex trafficking charges. Let me bring them up real quick. Hold on, I got them on X. We'll sit there and look at the charges real quick. It's loading up. Hold on 1 minute. Let me take this music off too. All right. I was just messing around with some new stuff on here. But you know, that's my homeboy Tory. That's one of his beats and stuff like that. You know, so I put on there just to feature it. But anyways, man, for 6 months, you had Cassie, you had so many celebrities out here saying the same story, and they haven't even met each other. And the defense was garbage. I mean, it was straight garbage. And this has to be fixed. I mean, it has to be fixed on the for real, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. You know, let me see something quick. Okay, let me take this one off. All right, and get to wow, X ain't working right. So let's sit there and put this in real quick. Diddy verdict. Okay, let that come up. All right, now here's the top stories. What's funny is though, man, that you see all these people, right? Let me put it on there. Hold on. Share this. Share screen. X. And this is what we see, man. Right there. Everybody all dancing for a blame, you know, basically a crook. You know, you have Jaguar Wright, she wound up being attacked, and the worst thing about it is from her own husband. Lot of celebrities that are in on this, you know, big celebrity, big names. Um, even some blame what you call it. Some blame um, political influencers. Were involved, and a lot of cats sat there and left country because of it. All the blame tapes, and even video of Cassie getting her ass beat by him. I mean, come on, man, come on. And then right here we have all these black folks, you know what I'm saying, doing all this blame nigga shit, are all happy. And at the end of the day, with our justice system, it proves it. You got to sin to win, man. And I was talking about this earlier to some friends of mine, and how this industry is, and plus a multi-billionaire mogul. And I just think this is all a cover up, man. This is all a cover up. Look at these gifts. These memes and stuff. All this stuff is still going to continue. It's funny how people, even 50 Cent beat the Rico case. That boy's a bad man. He's like the gay John Gotti. Is this what it's coming to? What about the kids? What about our society in general? You know what I'm saying? Really. What's this? What's going to happen? With society, that it's okay to do things like this. This is why I've always had such a hate for the industry. I was in Fort Worth, and I ain't going to mention his name just for his privacy reasons, because the reason being is I just don't want his family to be out. But he used to work for Diddy, and he had nothing but bad things to say about Diddy. And this is back in 2015, 2016, before all this came out. Then when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, I think it was like 2012. It was the Soul Train Music Awards, and we were at a club at the Peachtree, and got to meet P. Diddy, and Cassie was there. She wasn't allowed to speak and all that, and their VIP and all that, and all this flossing and all that stuff. I had a real bad vibe. I only rapped to him probably about like 5 minutes, yada yada yada. But I had to get away from the brother, man, because he had some vibes. And then after this, I seen all that. It's all out there. And there's one thing that you really gotta question: is our justice system right? Do our justice system really serve justice on a for real? Let's just look at this for face value. Also is at a blame trial in New York City, and most of the people there are basically liberal and have no morals, and all this sex stuff, man, and these freak offs and all these stories. And what about Pac? What about Biggie? All this stuff that's happened. All these people who was letting out the industry itself are basically dead. Look at blame Tommy Boy Record Cast. The only one that's still living is basically LB Shore. You have his ex-wife, okay? She's gone. Okay. You have Heavy D, he's gone, and both of them are have tell all books. Biggie and Pac, they were going to get together and make their own label, just to get away from, to squash all that stuff and do their own thing. Both of them wind up dead. Then you have Jay-Z and his crew. Start off with Big L. He's gone. It seems like all these people that were working with all these cats are dead and gone. And they try to kill LB Short. I mean, I'm just telling you, man. I'm telling y'all. The industry is a very, very bad place. And lots of people sit there and just idolize these people. I mean, you really got to sell your soul to the devil. And I think the reason being is that they didn't really get them because it would have exposed everybody. The whole industry would have lost money if he became guilty. The whole industry would have been exposed if he was guilty. Why do I say that? That the whole industry will be exposed if he was guilty. The reason being is because if he was guilty, that would have opened up a whole new bag of worms on a four wheel, whole new bag of worms. And there'll be investigations. There'll be investigations left and right. And y'all still be, and people still want to. Well, I want to get that money, and I want to sit there and be famous and the glamour. Let's at what price? Now you have all these kids sitting there going inside the industry, willing to sell their souls, do what they do to get that bag, to get that money, and also going in knowing that they get away with it on the four wheel. They get away with it, and it's sad, and sometimes in some aspects it's scary. I mean, not on my part, but for them. I mean, look at look at my friend Coolio. He was out there telling people, exposing what was going on. A month later, he wound up dead. And I'm still pissed off about that. I am really, really pissed off about that. But anyway, let me sit there. We'll just go do some. We'll go do some. What the lady's been said. And after she said under the post of a friend Kim Porter. All right. Well, here's a little something. Let's see what Tani has to say due to her friend Kim Porter. Here's an article, which was one wound up dead because she was going to give a tell-all video, tell-all book. Let that load up. Tony Harris goes viral after reacting to a post Kim Porter's friends said she shared about Diddy's verdict. The social media streets are still talking. Social media streets are still talking following the verdict of P. Diddy's trial. And it's not just the regular people, bootlegger folks weighing in. Tiny Harris stepped into the convo, a post that she had people raising eyebrows and connecting all kinds of dots. The singer popped out of the comments and posted the internet personally. And a close friend of the late Kim Porter, Ebony Electra, just hours after the verdict of Diddy's trial. Young man, Christian Combs. Though Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, he's acquitted for the more serious racketeering and sex trafficking charges. On the Instagram, Ebony Electra shared this post featured in the music mongol in a spiritual message on God's will for Diddy's life. Gave a former friendship with Kim Porter and posted turned heads. Tani slid in with what she looked a small show of support. Yeah, Ty began, and people want to charge you for a bad thing, freaky and nasty work. All right. The headroom, what we're saying. opinions. We're all entitled of them. Mistakes. We all make them. Judging. We all do it. We are, he goes, gossip. We are guilty of it. God's will is higher than any opinion or mistake or gossip. Yeah, I get that and stuff like that. I mean, God's in control, but you know, I think God, to be honest, we put his hands off this world and off this country, especially this country, doing for all the things that we've been going for. I mean, really, man. I mean, that's. I mean, this is just straight out sick, you know. And I think reason being is she don't want to say nothing is because she don't want to be caught up and wind up dead like her friend. To be honest with you, a freako is not a Rico. That's funny. It's also the fact that Diddy had Cassie's Jane lady and probably Porter, as well as have sex with the stripper men and prostitute with men with no condom, talking about they got tested. Do you live with them? His verdict is wrong in so many ways. Huh. Sean Diddy Combs denied bail after a mixed verdict. Still denied bail. Wow. Diddy's verdict peels back culture. The darkness hidden by fame, wealth is exposed. No secrets before God. His light one unveils judgment or redemption. Revival starts seeing clearly. It's something, man, because even though people put God inside of it, I mean, I can't deny anybody sitting there putting God inside of it, but what he's done is not godly. I remember it's almost to the point that we are going like into the time of Noah, man. You know what I'm saying? On a four wheel. That all people's thoughts are just evil thoughts. I mean, I see it all the time. I walk these streets, it's Nevada heat, my mind in prayer, because most people don't even care. And especially the wealthy and the rich, which they think that their money can solve all their problems, that they can do anything they want, that they have their heaven on earth. And I sit there and I see people in a normal world, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say normal, but our class of people that everyday Joes, if they got caught with something like that, they be going under jail, in the jail, or under the jail. Like they didn't think about this, right? What if it was the man? I'll just put an example. What if it was Donald Trump? All right, had all these blame charges. Okay, well, he got acquitted, all that stuff because there was no proof. You know what I'm saying? He brought receipts, and you're going to tell me that they cannot prove all these charges. You know what I'm saying? Or did they want to prove, especially on the RICO case? Especially on the RICO case. So many people were involved. None of them was on the stand. Jay-Z wasn't on. Nobody was on the stand. You know why? Because they got money. Why? Because the money's their God. This is what people worship. People worship their race. People worship their color. People worship money. You know what I'm saying? Some people. I mean. This proves to people that at least have some sense of righteousness, some sense of morals, ethics, and all that. You know what I'm saying? That this whole world is going downhill. Satanists, man. It is. This world is ran by the prince of the air. And that's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. The prince of the air, man. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Wow. I'm disgusted with his people. I'm disgusted with the world. I'm disgusted with so many things, man. And at the same time, I just gotta sit there and keep my head high and stay on these moral standards. But the most evil people is getting it all right now. And then I see this celebrated, and like I'll call out all these black folks and all that stuff like that. These niggas and his niggerdom, and before I even sit there and put it up, I'm like, this is how I feel on shit, just to let you know.
Yo, there's nothing wrong with black and white people. Black and white people can get along. It's the niggas and crackers we gotta worry about. You don't like that, do you? Fuck you.
And that's real. That's real. So I'll call up. See, I mean, I don't even really speak of race, but you know what? I'll call up black people and stuff like that, man. I said we're the most fucking pitiful. Or as I'm going to say that it's not black folks. Niggas are the most pitiful people in the Negro race I've ever seen in my entire life. Have no respect for women. Have no respect for their spouses. All these baby mom. I mean, I see it on Facebook all the time, man. All the time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all treat women like fucking shit. Your own black girls and white girls. It doesn't matter. If it got a pussy, you treat them like shit. You impregnate them, and then you don't have nothing to do with them, and the kids grow up to be little ass motherfucking nigglets and thoughts. And I'm sick of it, dude. I'm sick of it. And then the press and the industry, they glorify this shit. And y'all follow it. Yes, sir, master. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You follow it. You idolize this shit. The gang violence, the guns, I mean, you sit there and you sit there and say that the white people did this, the white people do that. And you know what's messed up about the whole thing that really pisses me off about black folks? And I think the only reason why this verdict was the way it is to further divide us, and you know what? It's doing it, but you know what? I'm dividing for what's right. And I'll be honest with you, man. I can't fuck with y'all. And I really don't give a damn if you don't fuck with me. I'll just be honest with you. I don't have one fuck to give y'all because y'all are pitiful. Because y'all niggas make it worse for black folks. You know what I'm saying? And what's funny was not funny, but funny in a bad sense. That the system, our judicial system itself, you know what I'm saying, just gives it more fire for this divide, more fire for wrong, for evil, facts, for evil. And some of y'all don't want to fucking hear it. Fine. Don't friend me. I have no fucks, friend, family, or foes. I have no fucks at all. And I was sitting there talking to a friend earlier, right? I was talking to a friend earlier, and they were talking about, and it was dealing with our character. It was talking about like character with people and stuff like that, right? or how we deal with other people. I ain't going to go like completely in the conversation, but she has some good friends. She has some good points. But at the same time, how low do you have to go just to get ahead? What does it take to sit there like how much wrong do you have to do just to get yourself ahead on the four wheel? You know, I mean, in my life, man, I'll be honest with you. I go through a lot. I just don't say much. You know, I just fight my way through it. I don't like to sit there and boo hoo and whine on Facebook. I mean, some people it's therapeutic. Go ahead, do you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all I feel sorry for. I really do. And my heart goes out to y'all that's going through this. But to see a woman get beat down in a hotel, right? Get beat down in a hotel that's on film, and this dude is still, you know, still, basically going to be free. Oh, 2 years. What about investigate? Like, why don't we open the trials for murder? I think that'll be the real Rico. Or say or do they really try to quiet down the Kim Porter case? They really try to quiet down what happened to LB Short. They really try to quiet down what happened to Biggie. Did they really have to try to quiet down what happened to Pac? You know, that's the way that's the way I'm seeing it right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's call it what it is. Because during this trial, you know what I'm saying, this hearing, there wasn't really that much. There really wasn't really that much being said. To be honest with you, you know, there wasn't really that much being said about it, and that's what's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was all, but you know what? But all these sex crimes and all that stuff. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You know, it's all right. We can sit there and do that. Alexa, patio lights on. Share the name lights. Which one do you want? Patio lights. But on a four wheel, man, you know, it's kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy that now you can't say it's a white thing or a black thing or anything like that now, because now you can because now there's it's definitely provable of everything that he did, but they just sat there and looked away from it on the four wheel, just looked away from it like it's not like it's nothing to it. And then these kids coming up inside the industry, right? They're gonna be, oh well, shit. If I can go, if Puffy can do it, then I can do it, and I get paid money, you know. And then I hate when people sit there and come to me, oh well, you got a lot of money, it's going to change you. No, it's not. No, it's not. It wouldn't change me. I still live a normal life. And I don't think I mean, I live in a nice area, but you know what? I'd have a regular car, regular house, regular family life. I wouldn't want to be on the cameras for everybody to see me floss and all that. That's just not my skilo. That's just not my steez. You know? Not at all. I try to live my life as simple as possible. Honestly, morally, ethically, honorably. You know? Why would I want to think that I'm better than somebody? I can sit there like this. I'd rather be a multi-millionaire, and I'll probably dress the bummiest I can just for no one to actually know. You know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change because I don't want to change. I don't believe an object can make you change. We are gradually but surely, man. It's becoming like the time of Noah. That every single thought of man is an evil thought. You know, and there's only very few that you actually really see, and some actually has like a really good, like a really good front. You know, that drive, that rat race, and all that stuff like that. Only thing I want in my life is to get what I'm worth and have my little piece. I don't want the whole thing. Some people say it but don't mean it. Just like some people say that they believe in God and Jesus Christ and they're Christian and they're not. This is what is being a Christian these days, huh? Really? What is it? Some of y'all that believe in God, that are religious, won't like that. As I said before, and that hasn't changed. I'm just learning this thing called discipleship on the 4-wheel. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't want to be no group. I don't want to be no organization. I don't want to be in no party. I don't want to be in somebody's society. I don't want to be a group of people's clique. I don't want none of that. Hold on 1 second. Huh? No, I don't. I mean, all this stuff I see and what's going on, man. You know, it's sad. The state of what this world's in. You know, that evil can be right in front of you and people just don't see it. You know, sad. It's very, very sad that this is what the world has turned out to, you know, turn out to be. It's sad that you have to sin to win. And I remember that saying, right? I learned that saying about 10, 15 years. I remember I was working with a entertainment company, right? I ain't mentioning no names and stuff like that. I had my little desk, my little cubicle, and I was doing demographics for advertising, right? So, anyways, I left. I went to work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I left home from work. It was over the weekend. Come back. No, I think I came back on like a Sunday. And I seen lines of cocaine on my blame desk. And I went to the CEO of the company and I told him straight out, I don't give a fuck what you do, but don't you ever, ever have lines of cocaine on my desk and whatever party or freaky shit that you're doing when I'm not here. I go, that's disrespectful. And you know what, man? I don't think he really liked it, to be honest with you. You know, I remember I went to New York City. I went to New York City, right? And it was during the CMJ Music Convention. Back then, we were doing an equity, as I said, we were doing an equity proposal with BMG Records back then. Now it's BMI. It was before the EMI and BMG merger. After 2001 had happened, which we were there in 2000. So I remember when I was in New York City. So the senior members of the company, they wind up going to a swingers club, you know, and I was like, you know what, man? I says, nah, I don't want to go to that. I go because I knew it was wrong because I didn't want that lifestyle. This is the industry, all right. This was the industry, man. All right. That fun for them was like going to a swingers club and all that shit like that. All this sinning and trying to win, you know? And I decided not to. So, anyways, they went out, they did their thing. We were staying at the Ameritania Hotel. That was on, I think it was on 51st Street in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? So, as they went and did their thing, I decided to go out, take a walk. Take a walk on Broadway, the Times Square. I was checking that out, and I was walking, and I found, and then there's cats. They were doing a drum circle, you know, and I really believe I was seen by angels because it was weird, man. It was weird. So I walked up because like I used to do a lot of drum circles when I was out living in Fort Lauderdale. You know what I'm saying, on Fort Lauderdale Beach, Pompano, and all that stuff like that. I hung with a lot of hippies and stuff back then, and like that was my time away from being inside the office, being all fancy. Really, in some aspect, well, a lot of aspects I couldn't really stand it because I just didn't want to be. Which today you'd probably call it. It was very, very bougie for me, you know. Sat there, man, wearing ties, suits, and all that stuff when I had to, but I really wasn't down with it. Then also at the same time, I was working inside the club industry. You know what I'm saying? Building the company from the inside and out. The one thing that I did learn about the industry itself, especially when it comes to business, is that only thing they know is business, but not culture. And that's on the four wheel. You know, business and not culture. Only thing they know how to do is just to move money and make money, but don't care on how they get it or the people that they use to get it. I used to tell them all the time that, you know what? I said, you have no idea. Only thing you do is when you get all this money, you sit there and you just throw all this money away. You know, oh, go ahead. Just go ahead and do that. Make it no big thing. Make it happen. As we always says, make it happen. And you know what? It is a good saying, but also it's a double-edged sword. But the one thing that I was actually taught, that I have a complete understanding for, which I wish he would have took his own advice, was to listen in detail. And he says, you never paint the wall. You know what I'm saying? From the middle, you always start from the corners and work out. And he never, and it was funny is in life, he told me that, and he never did it himself. Practice what you preach. I remember when I was out, I was working. It was a Danzig show. Because as I said, on the side, I worked inside the industry, so I rubbed elbows with a lot of celebrities, and I took a lot of rock shows. And I want to tell you how the industry is. Okay, Danzig. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know the Misfits and all that stuff, that you wear the Misfit shirts. You know, I used to work for the drummer and stuff like that. He taught me a lot more about sound that I did know. Basically, he like finished my school for me. You know what I'm saying? Just by experience. While I was working at an entertainment company, but we're all sitting there kicking it, man. Danzig, we're on his tour bus, and I'm just going to tell you what it is, right? I'm going to tell you. I'm letting you go in on what this industry is. There's your willing groupies, you know, and there are. And I remember we're inside a tour bus, and this girl stuck a beer bottle right up her blame twat. And they took advantage of her like that. I had to walk out on a four wheel. They don't give a fuck. You know, it's power, money, and you do all this. And most of these industry cats, you know, most of them, all these cats are going straight to hell. You know, what was that? What was that one artist that sat there and says that I'm going to hell and I'm going to take y'all. I'm going to take y'all with me. He wasn't playing. What was his name? It was when those people sat there and died. That they was at um it was at that concert a couple years ago when the people in the concerts they sat there and died and stuff, and then you actually see the pictures and you actually see shadows jump, and then it was like a big portal. People wearing all these artists wearing bafflements, going like this. Everybody does like this. Like this means something. One thing you're sitting there doing is glorifying the cult. The industry is an evil place, man. And some of y'all want to sit there and send your kids there. Look at all these stories of these kids. Look at Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, who passed away from all that and all that stuff like that. Look at all of these artists that just passed away that couldn't, oh, he just couldn't take the fame. No, it was probably what they did, and the demons got better, got the best of them. You know? I mean, there's artists out there that sit there and say, I sold my soul to the devil. You know? And on the outside, it looks like they have these lush lives. These are the lifestyles of the rich and famous. When it's all a show, it's all a facade. You know? There's some celebrities that I sat there and I watched. I remember one time I sat there and I seen Floyd Mayweather. On TV, he's all this, he's all that, he's all happy and all that stuff like that. Then one time I sat there and seen him that he was inside a club rehab and he was sitting there by himself and he was all miserable, all paranoid. He didn't even want to be there. So many people that's always all up inside his business. Because everybody not they don't want him. They want a piece of his money. You see these young girls with these old 70-year-old guys and stuff like that, rich and famous, their money and all that. And they don't love him. They don't love him. They don't love him at all. Then you sit there and then what's funny is that you sit there and go out, you know, and I do every so often. I go out. I have these ladies sit there and come up to me, man. They're sitting there, they sit there, they talk to me and all that stuff like that, seeing what's inside my, well, all they want is what was inside my pockets or what can they get that would benefit them. Or they'll give you a little pussy just to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you might as well sit there and go on the streets and go buy a hooker because that's basically what you're doing. So they sit there and just give up the pussy just with a little more class, if you want to look at it that way. That's the industry. Then when it comes to find out that now when you go in and then when you go into the industry, I mean, back in the day, I messed around with shows, did shows, and you get to that one wall that you have to sign that contract with blood. Meanwhile, you go to these parties, look at the rooms, you see homosexual. I mean, I've seen it. I ain't gonna lie. I've seen so much homosexual. I mean, homosexual shit in my life, especially in the industry. It's sick. Sick. One time, you know, I came to Vegas. Came. Like I said, I forgot why I left Vegas. It was when I was coming, and I went back home for. I didn't go back home. Where did I go? I went to Florida for a while. I came back from Florida. You know what I'm saying? I needed to get some money, so I did some catering. So I did a catering job at a swingers club. And that's some of the most craziest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Actually, I really feel bad that I actually went, but at the same time, it was a good experience because of the conviction and the uncomfortableness I had that I'll never forget, that I never would want to go back to. And so we're sitting there serving food, right? And I seen this man, and parents, watch this with your kids, because this is real, and it's just going to be worse when they get older. And you might as well tell them now, than then regret it later. But I saw this man, a tranny man, and I ain't going, and he looked nothing like a woman, but it was a man with tits. You know what I'm saying? And a dick. All right. I'm just going to call it what it is, dude. All right. Hold your ears or whatever, but this is facts. And he was getting his food, and I don't know if his hair was real, it was a wig, it was really tall, built. You know what I'm saying? Breast looked just like a plain woman. Now I'm sitting there serving this man food, right? But what's sad about though, and the only thing I seen that it wasn't contempt for the man, was sadness. It was utter sadness. And I was sad because that swingers club was the only place that he would probably felt normal in. And then what the really crazy thing about it was, the man with tits was with a woman. For real. It doesn't matter inside this world to them. It doesn't matter to it. Everybody says, oh, well, that's their lifestyle, but it's wrong. It's an abomination. Especially if you do that, if you mutilate your own body. And also there were celebrities that went in there too. There was quite a few. You wouldn't believe. My one boy, Psycho, he knows. And stuff like that. Sometimes I just feel bad because, I suggested to that hustle, and he was going to take the job. But then I sat there. I said, you know what? Then don't do it, man. I said I should never brought you here. But he needed the money, but it was easy, and I knew. So I was just as wrong as subjecting him to it, just to blame DJ. And I never do it. And you know what? And I feel bad, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to God. Sorry to him. You know what I'm saying? But the things you would do when you really, really needed money, I just didn't go that far. But I participated just to get money. You know? I was in that sin too. Just to win. Just to win, just to get my phone back on and things start moving before I get my cars and stuff to get it moving here in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Even though I didn't do nothing, I still participated. I was still there. You know? And I'm gonna letting y'all, dude, I'm just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Putting out my convictions. You know? The industry at these parties, the clubs, the ecstasy days back in the clubs and all that stuff like that, man. And it was all in their eyes, it was all okay. I was there, man. You know, that's why I don't club anymore. Not like I used to. You know, and that's why I actually. That's why I actually um, stopped really going to clubs and bars and all that because I just don't want to see it. You know, yeah, I sit back and I do shows. Hold on. Bars, I'm actually on doing shows, you know, and when I go to these shows and stuff like that, you know, I I still have like convictions because I'm hearing what these young kids are saying and what they're rapping about, and at the same time, you're trying to put content out, edit content, and all that stuff like that. And I look back and I think to myself, do I want to put this out there inside the world? This filth, this garbage. When you know these kids can do better, there's plenty out there to sit there and rap about. Plenty of things out there to sing about. But they want to rap and sing about how many bitches that they had, how many mollies they took, how many niggas they killed, how many niggas they want to kill, what, where, when, why, and how they're going to do a nigga. All that glamour, all that glamour and glitz, sucking dicks, eating clits to climb that social ladder quick. You know. Meanwhile, you have all these cats with the money, the big industry cats that you have Sony, Warner Brothers, Disney, you know, all these CEOs like Clive Davis and all that stuff like that. They don't give a damn about you. They give a damn about that money. You're a commodity. You're a thing. They make their money off you. They'll throw you away, as in kick you to the curb, or sit there and take the life right from you. Real shit. Real shit. That's what happened to mine. That happened. That's what happened to my friend Coolio, I believe. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that he just died at his friend's house a month after he broke it out, and said that he was scared, that he worried about his family, his kids, and all that stuff like that, that he wanted to teach people some stuff. Here, I'll show you. Hold on. I post a lot of stuff on my Facebook, but I'll get it there. Wait a second. Since we're on this industry thing, let me find it real quick. Almost there. Damn, I put a lot of blame stuff up. Wow. Getting closer. Damn, I don't know where I put that at. '27. I'm sitting there looking. I know it's there somewhere. Damn, you know what? I can't find it, or they probably took it off. They probably took it off my Facebook, because they do that all the time, because I put some serious shit on there. But on the full real, man, this is what we're up against. We are not fighting against spirits and principles. We're not fighting just flesh and blood. We are fighting against principles. We are not fighting just spirit, just flesh and blood. We are fighting against spirits and principalities and those of the high elect. You know, and the industry itself. You know what I'm saying? And then we got to look at it itself. And evil is good, good is evil, and people just glorify it, just glorify it, and it's sad. It's very, very, very sad. Hold on, I need to power up my laptop. you know, and we got to get it right, The industry, the industry itself is evil, very, very evil. They will take everything. It will take everything from you. And corporate people, like I was sitting there talking earlier today with a person I know, and I was telling her that even though you are rich, you may have money, you think you have a lot of money, and you can't be touched. It's the terribly wealthy, you know, that really have control over you. You can only make so much money before all eyes are on you. You have to join their club. Because I don't want to be very rich because, then you have them. How many of y'all ever had a letter from the Illuminati? I had, you know, I had family that had letters from the Illuminati too. Facts. The rituals, where to go, yada yada, get the ring, all that stuff like that, all the finances, everything. It was like the devil sitting there saying this, I'll give you this whole kingdom only if you sit there and worship me. It actually plays just like it played on Jesus Christ. Exact same thing. When the 40 days, when Jesus went out there and got tempted by the devil, I was offered all that. I didn't take it. Freemasonage and all that stuff like that. Oh, and there's something funny. If you really want to see something that's really, I think I talked about it earlier, because everybody's for abortions these days, right? It's okay to have an abortion. Yep. Okay. All righty then. Abortions. Is this okay to have them? All right. Here. Check this out. All right. Hold on. All right. Now this is real. Oh, it's my body, my choice, and all that stuff. All that right there. That people was like, well, what if they were raped and all this stuff like that? Okay. Here's something. Here's something for y'all to check out right here. Make sure the volume's up on this. Okay. Let's press play. And I can't get as soon as I get the sound on this. Where's the sound? Wow. You mean they took the sound off of this? Ain't that something? Wow. You see this? That's crazy. I tell you what, though, man, the devil's busy. I'm telling you. Won't even let you play the sound. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow, your browser, your screen show. Okay, hold on. Okay, I gotta take this off. Hold on. Lost my audio. Let me do this again. Wow, my screen share audio is not working on this. Wow. Well, there you go. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. All right. Since the audio's off, all right. That's crazy. Since the audio's off on it, luckily, because they don't want you to hear it, you know. That's another thing that happens. Thank God they actually put the actual words on, the actual subtitles on it. Okay. Okay. Okay, I want you to look at the subtitles. So basically what it's saying that they're basically doing a mockery of God, mockery of Jesus, right? And turning an abortion into a ritual. Murder, which is becoming normal. Evil is becoming normal. Evil is good. Like in the book of Isaiah, you know? On the for real, man. So all this evil with Diddy, the trial, in this world today, you gotta sin to win. But in the end, we'll see who has the last laugh. Because I'll be honest with you, man. I can't be a part of it. I just can't do it. And it's not just in the industry, corporate America. And I know for a fact, man, that I go so far against the grain. Even corporate America ain't gonna like me. I don't even care if the world don't like me, to be honest with you. I'll still have my peace. I'm out. You be cool like that. Later. God bless. Stay prayed up. Put that armor of God on. Because we ain't seen nothing yet. We're just in the birthing pains.
Flat night, in my car, man, put on a lip to the clock. You know, you don't TV, girl,